Welcome to UNCAGED, a show that celebrates thought leadership from today's top business leaders. The program provides a voice to amazing executives from around the globe who are shaping the world of business today and mapping the path to the commerce of tomorrow. Today, we are speaking with Joe Meehan. Hey, Joe, how are you?
Hey, Matt. It's good to be on the show. Thank you.
Yeah. It's great to have you, Joe. Joe is the Vice President of Business Development for And we'll talk a lot about what And is doing and up to, but they are a leading company in the customer experience and customer support space, offering innovative solutions to help businesses maximize customer relationships and build brand loyalty through service. I'm excited about that space because the BPO world seems to be reshaping every day. And in this new world we're in, it seems to be right at the center of everything. But before we get there, Joe, tell us a little bit about yourself and your career.
Sure. Well, I've been in this support industry now since the early 90s. Actually started on the phones, as a lot of people have in this business. So I kind of learned it from the ground up. I've worked for some, fabulous brands like Time Inc. And also Ring, the doorbell security company. Had the opportunity to build some world-class customer support for them, as well as other BPOs, third-party outsourcers like And that I work at today. And throughout my career, I've been able to, travel around the world. We know BPO call centers are pretty much everywhere these days. But I get to travel through Asia and also all over the U.S. And currently now, we focus on Latin America, nearshore. So it's been a great experience.
Yeah, I fascinated by the whole BPO space. I spent a little bit of time working in that space during my career as well, and have very vivid memories of looking down at essentially almost like a football stadium sized room filled with people on calls and managing all of the BPO stuff for Federal Express. And that was quite an incredible thing to see. And I know that world is evolving rapidly with the use of things like machine learning, et cetera. And so I'm excited to hear what you guys are up to at And.
Well, we are focusing a lot on how we as a company can, kind of work together with technology. Obviously, because of the pandemic, things kind of exploded with people interacting online mostly, and that actually increased customer support, I think, in a lot of areas, especially retail. But then it also had a big impact on the contact center space, because we went from basically, like you had mentioned, these gigantic call centers with people in on site to this work at home model. I think it's starting to move back into the offices as the pandemic starts to subside. But I think it opened the eyes of a lot of companies to say, we really have to look at technology so that we don't have to rely so much on live agent support for, even, simple things. But also that technology helps agents as well, because, you mentioned AI and things like that. It helps agents too on the phones, because they can collect information about customers as they're calling in and really help to, move through those processes quicker. So that they don't have to ask for the customer's account numbers or names or whatever they have to do to verify. A lot of that stuff can be done prior to them speaking to an agent.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I can only imagine the different models that have come to the fore during the last couple of years. You just reminded me of a call that I was on. We were trying to restructure a deal with a vendor, and we must have gotten shifted to kind of an at-home call center, and our call person and this woman was on the phone with us, and we could hear a lawnmower in the background and then the phone rang, and Then a pizza arrived. It was the craziest call. But honestly, I think we all have to kind of be more ready for that. I mean, we've seen it in the Zoom world, right? I mean, everybody's living at home, and you just have to almost be aware that people have lives. And so there's lots of different models that are gonna work, but doing it at scale is really why you need companies like And to help you navigate that world. I'd be curious though to see what you're seeing in the space right now and kind of putting that broader, let's say, BPO world in context for folks.
Well, actually, I think because of the fact that, like, companies like And have a nearshore presence, with wages are rising dramatically in the U.S. We're seeing a lot of companies come to us, and they're just having a difficult time staffing here in the U.S. And so they're looking for something that's very comparable, without missing out on the quality, the accent, even the cultural connection to customers. And that's why I think nearshore, especially Mexico, where we have our location, most of those folks have been to the U.S. They understand. They follow the U.S. sports and things like that. And when you're having an experience or exchange with someone, you want to feel comfortable that they understand you and your surroundings, regardless of what it is, whether it's hotels or retail or whatever. They know, oh, hey, you live in St. Louis. Hey, I love visiting the arch there or something. And I think that them knowing that makes them feel a little more comfortable engaging, rather than someone that might be halfway around the world that has like no clue where St. Louis is or something. So we're seeing a lot more people come to us and look at that. And from the cost perspective, obviously it's much less expensive. And as far as labor, there's just a ton of labor in these locations in nearshore.
So tell me a little bit about the types of customers that are rolling out solutions with And. It does seem to me in this kind of omni-commerce world,
Mhm.
companies like And become essentially, I mean, business critical.
Yeah, I mean, our customer base is it has a pretty wide range. We do work for retail companies. We have a social media company that we're doing work for. We have a consumer tech company that came to us, that does a lot of work in the online space. And then we do work with some telecommunications companies, and just a variety of pretty much we touch every industry. But we mostly focus on consumers, since that seems to be obviously where you're going to get a lot more of that type of transaction.
So, the last couple of years have been nutty for all of us, Joe. I mean, certainly there have been very tough personal moments for pretty much, well, for everyone I know, as well as quite interesting challenges, but also opportunities for businesses. And just be curious to hear how you and the And team have seen the pandemic and how has it impacted you guys?
Well, again, it's from a labor perspective, it's been challenging, because we try to make sure that we maintain, safe environments for our agents that do come back to work. So, it's created a lot of difference in the way that we handle, our offices. We have an on-site nurse in our
Mm.
facilities, so that if someone's not feeling well, they can check out. A lot of people don't want to, necessarily just assume that they're sick and they have to leave work and they miss out on that. So we have someone there to kind of help them along with that. And then there have been challenges with getting people vaccinated and things like that in the office. So but again, we have our offices in the United States, Mexico, and also Canada. North America seems to be pretty well have vaccines available, and things like that. So
Did you guys have to restructure your office space at all, or so that people weren't, I don't know, I guess probably for the pandemic,
Yeah,
but yeah.
initially we did. We had separation, plexiglass between stations and things like that, where we could space people out a little bit more. But we're lucky enough to be able to. We moved, all of our people to work at home initially, and then we've slowly brought them back. So we have, plenty of space to be able to kind of do a variable model where, people can work in the office where they have to or work at home. There's been challenges with people working at home, like you had brought up, where, it's just not an environment that's conducive for them to be comfortable working at home. They have other family members living there, or they're in a location that's very noisy. And so, those people actually want to come back to work and
Yeah.
the office. So we have that opportunity for
Yeah,
them.
I mean, I think the example I gave, it was kind of a comedy of errors in that situation, but I completely can see how a work from home model could really work well in many situations. And probably what you're talking about and what you guys are doing at And is the perfect solution, which is a little bit of a blend of both.
Yes, exactly. And it helps recruiting and things like that. Obviously, attendance is, through the roof when you can work from home. There's no reason really to miss work unless something drastic is going on. But yeah, we've been able to really stay, very dependable and dedicated to our clients to be able to support their needs and the volumes that they've had, especially through the holiday season. I told you we do a lot of retail. So to be able to support the customers there. And I think that's probably really the most important thing, is just to make sure that, our clients' customers have a good experience.
So, Joe, I mean, it's incredible to see how companies like yours have evolved during the pandemic. But, knock on wood, hopefully we're at a point now where things might be getting a little bit better. And I'd just be curious to see how you are thinking about 2022.
Well, again, in 2022, we're still seeing a lot of growth. I mean, luckily, businesses in general continue to grow. We have a lot of new companies that are coming to us, just trying to figure out, their strategy going into this year and how they're going to grow and support. My focus is really on convincing these companies that, customer experience and customer support should be it's a huge value for them, a huge differentiator. And so
Mhm.
using companies like us to help support that, rather than trying to build that out internally and the cost to do that,
Yeah.
it's much less expensive for them to outsource with a company like and the quality again is just as good, if not better. In fact, we compete a lot with our clients' internal call centers, and we're meeting and exceeding the KPIs for them. So it's good. Like I said, I think nearshore is really starting to flourish, and in other places around the world. But I think especially Latin America, it's getting a lot of growth just because it's close by. Travel is
Mhm.
difficult these days, and it's easy to travel if you need to the locations that are doing business for you.
Yeah, I like how you outlined that. It certainly is an area where I see companies spending a lot more time and effort in. And, based on my experiences on the customer side of the VPO process, having a strong partner is really key here because,
Mhm.
if BPO decisions are just led by a CFO, on my side, it's a little bit of a nightmare. There's so many things that you have to take into consideration to get that relationship structured in the right way, so it's an interesting one because I do feel like the BPO discussions in many companies starts at a point where a finance person comes in and says, well, we could save money if we outsource this.
Right, right.
And yet if it starts and stops there, it's going to fail because you really got to have the process and the protocols structured correctly. And you need to really kind of develop it as a partnership. No.
Right, exactly. I think our first discussion is really trying to determine exactly what the goals are of the company, and how they view support, and
Hmm.
and then also getting into the actual nitty gritty and agent profile and those things to determine like what the best avenue is. And again, we like technology. we know that AI and those types of things will take over a lot of the calls that we're taking today, things that are more simple, and they should. Customers want to get information and they want to get their issues resolved quickly. And so, we really do kind of promote that, higher level agent, because those are the ones that the customers are going to have to speak to if they can't get an answer. And so I think at this point in time, AI is advancing dramatically, but I think that there's still a lot of people that want to have that human interaction.
Yeah, absolutely. I would say that we're still in that phase where the technology really needs to partner with the VPO and the team for sure. Joe, it's been amazing to talk to you about what you're working on. And if someone wanted to reach out and learn more about what And offers, where should they find you guys?
They can go to our website. It's www.andxp.com. So www.andxp.com, or they can email me at joe.meehan, MEEHAN, at andishere.com.
Excellent. Well, we've been speaking with Joe Meehan. He is the Vice President of Business Development at And is a customer experience and customer support provider offering innovative solutions to help businesses maximize customer relationships and build brand loyalty through service. And is right at the center of all of these things happening in the BPO space. And Joe, thank you so much for clarifying a lot of this stuff for us. It's great to have you on Uncaged, and we look forward to having you back.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Cheers.
Cheers.